Oh shit, I think that's the door. I think we're recording too. Yep, oh shit. So bro, I appreciate you for sliding through. Everybody know when they slide through, they gotta take a shot. So what we gonna do first, nigga, we gotta take a shot.
Alright.
So I got you right here. Get some tequila, you know that, because we eating tacos.
Okay.
Cheers. You feel me? I appreciate you, man.
Right on.
Woo.
That's good.
So, you ordered the Pinche Tacos, you feel me? So I hooked you up with the carne asada Pinche Tacos, the rice and beans on the side, with the salsa and guac as well. So you can take one of your plates over there and dig in.
Right on.
Well, shit, nigga, we here now.
Yes, sir.
Hope you enjoying your shit. Before we really get into everything, for the people who don't know you, I just want you to give a little bit about, you know, who you are, where you come from, your name, all that good shit.
You want my real name or my?
You can give them what you want to give them.
Well, all right. Well, my name is Los, or Carlos for short. You know, Los is for short, but I go by Traptoven. That's my producer name. I don't know, when it comes to the trap side of music, I think I'm the Beethoven of the trap. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel, me in my heart. I mean, you've heard some of my 808s knocking, in my studio at the house. So, I go by that. Born and raised in the city, so I'm a native, love the Bay Area. Always will. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit about me,
What high school did you go to?
I went to Wash. I went to Lafayette, Presidio to Wash. Okay. Yeah, so it was cool. Cool little, away from where I grew up. I grew up in the Mission, but my mom wasn't having me going to like Mission High for high school, Portland for middle school. Mm-hmm. So it was more like, nah, we need to go. You need to go out to like a little better neighborhood. Cause at those times it was tough. They had like gangs, and she didn't want me to be a part of that. And even myself, I didn't want to be a part of that. Even though like it's easy to like get into that, especially in the neighborhood I grew up in. But I was like, nah, I don't want to be a part of that. Like it doesn't lead to nothing, So
are you? I know you a little bit, but I don't know you a lot. So this is great because I get to ask you them. So
you get the interview.
Exactly. So are you black and Hispanic, or are you Hispanic and Filipino?
So I'll break it down because I get this a lot. So I'm gonna make it clear. So I'm full Hispanic. So I'm 100% Puerto Rican.
Okay.
But this is what I do not want to leave out. Mm-hmm. What makes a Puerto Rican is Spanish, Indian, and black. Mm-hmm. So if you can see as my hair, my skin color, some of my features look black. Yeah. So, I mean, you can say I'm black, but my original nationality is Puerto Rican, but yes.
So your mom and your dad are Puerto Rican?
Yes.
So growing up, like what type of music was being played in the house?
Oh man, none but Spanish and salsa, that's it.
Okay. So like cleaning on Sundays and shit, it was
Spanish music.
Spanish
music, yeah. Mm-hmm. Spanish, well for me, it was Spanish music like every day, Because I actually grew up into that, so it's like.
And you speak Spanish?
I speak a little bit. I'm more Americanized, so yeah. But I speak a little bit. I understand a little bit too.
So you a nigga? My nigga black.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We black. I'm black. So this the black side coming out of me.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm just asking because a lot of people make music. When you break it down and you like look back at it, if we into music, like our parents probably got us into it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of music that we're into is because of our parents. Yeah. Like nigga, I sit here right now looking like David Ruffin because of my daddy.
Yeah.
He used to always play Temptations and shit. So that shit got seeped into me, and I'm. You nobody came to see you, Otis. You feel me? So I want to know, as a person of like Puerto Rican and Spanish descent, and having your mom play Spanish music, how did you get into rap in general? Like, what was your first rap song or album that you remember?
Well, it goes back to like my grandpa. Like almost everyone in my family are like musicians, or they can sing, or they got something with some type of musical talent. Me, I just been blessed that I can do a lot. I can play pretty much any instrument, to singing. But a lot of my stuff is crazy. A lot of my stuff is self-taught. Taught myself.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I taught myself everything. But it's always been like, in me. Like I've always had music. It's just like, in our bloodline, just musical. I think my first, like, I don't know. For me, like, I grew up really hooked to like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay, yeah.
Like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, I know that there's the, like the NWA, but I wasn't really into more of like I don't know, back then it was like, it was a lot of like, it didn't really relate as much because it was more like the gang stuff and like the cussing and all that. Like, so that wasn't really me. But like Bone Thugs, I mean, they had cuss words, but it was like, it was more, they were speaking more like real, like, the first of the month, wake up, or, growing up, like, why do I stay high? Because that's what I would do. Like, so it kind of more related.
How long have you been making beats? So you said your grandpa and everybody does music and shit, but when was it that you really, was like, I'm gonna make rap beats?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, when did you make that decision?
2008.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say by 2015 is when I really like, I'm gonna just, I'm gonna do this. Like, 'cause, I would always like, I'm gonna do it, and then I'll do something else. Cause I'm the type, like, I just like to do a whole bunch of stuff. But then, and like, even when I make beats or sometimes, like singing, people will be like, you should just do this, or you should really get serious on making the beats, or like, you get serious on, really singing. I'm like, yeah, I will, but I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So I would just take a lot, do whatever. But I think like 2015, I was like, I'm really just gonna I'm gonna just give it my all. And ever since then, I've been making beats.
When was the first time that you really start calling yourself a producer as opposed to a nigga who make beats?
I think I would say maybe 2017, when I actually was like doing this stuff, like, cause like as a beat maker, it's like I'll make a beat on Monday, I'll make a beat on Wednesday, I'll make a beat on Friday or Saturday. But for me, like producers, like, nah, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, like for some people it's a hobby,
That's
like,
a beat maker.
Yeah. But like for me, it's like, this is like what I want to be a career. So this is like, it's like I am a producer. This is what this is me, this is what I do. I wake up, I make music, and sometimes it may be one beat, sometimes it may be 5, 6, but I am a producer, I think back in 2017 where it was like I started making beats like every day, even my homie right here, like I'll call him up sometimes right here, my boy Angelo, and be like, hey, what you doing? Or you hit me up like, hey, what you doing? None, come over, let's make a beat. But be times we come like every day and we just make a beat, or even sometimes if you're not there, even to this day you can see me, I'm making a beat every single day. Or I may just have a melody just for that day, and I'll come back later, or come back tomorrow and make the beat. But every single day there, I'm doing something that involves with making a beat. So I feel like, like you said, like, a beat maker is like, I'll do it one day, come back in another week. But, a producer is like, it's like his job.
Yeah.
This is living. This is what I do. I produce, So, ever since 2017, it's like I do this every single day. I have another job, but like, this is like the career that I want.
Exactly.
My goal, and this is where I'm going. It's like every single day, just make music.
So you remember the first beat you sold?
The first beat I sold, yeah, it was trash. I mean, I thought it was good. You know, and the buyer thought it was good, but realistically, it was trash.
Yeah, but
obviously, throughout the years,
100%.
you get better and better, and your craft gets better. But at that time, I thought, oh, this is fire. Any artist can come spit on this, and I think I still have it saved when I go back and even sometimes with my homie too, like when we're drunk, we go to the house and we pull up like old files. We be laughing like, what was we doing?
What did we think? But then you think about like what you're doing right now, and you're like, shit, I came a long way.
No, yeah, most definitely, because like, I'm telling you, like, we thought some of our stuff was fire. We go back and we was like,
cool.
And how come we never hit the delete button on this one?
For real.
Like we had never hit the delete, but it's always good to have that. For me, I like to keep them though, as a reminder where it came from, and that. Because sometimes, people get lost, but it's like when I listen to that, I was like, okay, because for me, it's like, okay, I have progressed, It is paying off for something, Like, some people might just continue to make beats and 2-3 years later, it's like, they still sound the same.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, But it's like, for me, like a producer, it's like, what are you doing to make yourself better as a producer, Are you putting in the hours, Are you just like, I'm gonna just wake up and just make a beat? But like, you can do that, but it's like, are you like me? I'm always like on YouTube. Even if like, I know that a lot of people think I'm like, oh, you're a good producer. But to me, I still put them out, no, I'm not. Like, I have the confidence like I'm good, but I kind of say like, no, I'm not good, because like, I want to be better. Yeah. So I'm always watching other people. I'm always watching, like I said earlier, like, you take it from the people that paved the way. Like, you can still learn some knowledge from the OG people. And get it and apply it to you now, and just you make it your own and make it better yourself, or make a certain sound that's yours. And like I'm always like YouTube, or I'm always watching stuff to just kind of better myself. Even read, like I know how to make beats, but it's like, man, I know I can make my beats even a little more better. What can I watch? What can I read? And it's always messing with sounds too. That's key. Like messing with sounds and just getting ideas.
And shit.
Yeah, for me though, I like to listen to a lot of like old school. So I mean, I'm pretty sure every producer like old school like songs, so you can get ideas from them, and like flip it up yourself. Like how you said you're not even a producer, but how you came to me like, hey, you heard that Michael Jackson? Hey, can you flip it but make it my style? And we did it like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, man, that's so much. Hey, I'm telling you, this is what fire beat. Y'all gonna hear this shit, cause I'm gonna get on it. I'm gonna have somebody write me some shit. Yeah, cause I'm gonna get a ghostwriter. Y'all niggas stupid.
Hey, if you need a ghostwriter, man, my boy right there, he can spit. I'm not gonna put him on blast, but he can write though. He really can.
Gotta slide you some shit, bro.
Yeah. No, he really can write though. I'm not even lying.
I'm just trying to perform some shit. But that beat is crazy. That beat is crazy.
It's done. I still got it for you. Don't even trip. It's just with all the corona stuff that hit up.
So like talking about the OGs and shit, you know what I'm saying? Getting back into that, like. Who are the ones that you look up to, like, as far as making beats?
Man,
who you fuck with?
I think one that relates to me, and I've been on him for a while, I think it's Traptoven.
Oh, okay.
We kind of have like a similar background, like but he's just a pastor's kid. I just grew up in church, but like the same background. He played the keys, and he did music like almost his whole life. And I don't know, he's just, man, if you ever hear this guy on the keys, like, he's amazing. Like, this guy's amazing. And I think that's where I kind of also got my name from, like Traptoven, and it's Traptoven. I just flipped a little bit because there was a time, where I do DJ as well. I do a little hip hop, but I also did like, EDM. We should have had a couple shows with my boy, but, and I did a lot of trap, EDM type of stuff. So, even when I produce with my hip hop, it's like, them 808s, like you get some dudes that knock some good 808s, but I got the good 808s that knock though. I got the whole house shaking. But I would say, like Traptoven is like he's a really good producer. I like the way he works. I like his flow, and just everything about him. Like another dude is just it's a little off, but like the way he works his sounds and his flows, but like. Timbaland is like,
Timbaland's fire.
And I listen to Timbaland, but I only listen to like some of the main songs. For example, like Aaliyah,
the big ones,
the big ones. But when I actually looked up all like his background, like this guy was in like a lot of beats. Like he produced a lot of music, and his sounds were like crazy. Like even like the way that he works is kind of like how I work too, in the sense where like for him it's like he could hear a sound, or like with him he first makes his beats out of his mouth. So like he'll make his hi-hat, he'll make his snare, he'll make his melody all from his mouth. And then once he lays it down, he'll find the instruments and just put the instruments on top. That's kind of like me.
Oh, that's why you're so good.
Yeah.
Because bro, I swear to God, I told the nigga like this. I gave him the beat, the Michael Jackson beat. One is a song that not a lot of people know, right? And I told him how I wanted it to sound, like how I wanted and I did it with my mouth. And I'm not a producer, but he's like, oh, I got you. And he just went and literally did it. But you work from your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, my mouth or my head, you know? Because
Yeah.
even sometimes, like for me, I can hear a song or a beat or a melody from just the outside surroundings. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, it could be from like, it's crazy, it could be from like anything. For like musicians, it's different. Our ears are different, what we hear things like. For you, people might hear like a bus go by or a bird chirp, but like as a producer or a musician, like for me, I hear something else, you know? I hear like, I can make a melody, I go back, like it may be a bird chirping, but the way that they're chirping, I'm gonna bring that back, make a melody, and I'm gonna use a flute, because the closest thing to like a chirp, you can tweak it to be like
you
a
love
flute.
the flute.
You know me, I mess with the flute a lot. That boy, you know, handle it on. I can have an opera song, put the flute in there.
I'm like, oh, it's Traptoven.
Salsa, put the flute, any type of beat. Sometimes we at the house, he go, can you just take off the flute? You need the flute for everything?
That's the sound, huh?
The flute, it's just something about the flute. Like, I don't know, I like the string, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? But that's for me. I think like, there's a lot of producers, but I mean like the main two that kind of like I relate to, and like if I were to put two together that make me, it would be those two guys.
Alright, bro, so we didn't sat down, had some Pinche Tacos. You know what I'm saying? Some nice conversation and shit. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
And now, nigga, we did the eating. So it's time for the drinking.
Alright.
So, right now, I'm gonna pull out the scheme bag. You feel me?
Go.